So given the recent rise of AI technology comes many new ways of making money online or just in general. And with the new rise of Chat GPT, which is essentially a AI system, also means that there are now many new opportunities and ways to potentially make tons and tons of money from this. It's not necessarily going to be easy, but it's certainly going to be made a lot easier now thanks to new forms of technology. So in today's video, what I really want to talk about is essentially just several ways that you can make money through GPT. How can we actually make money with Chat GPT? And that's what this video is going to be about. So we're going to just go right into the video. We're going to list out several things, but I do highly recommend if you guys don't even know what Chat GPT is or really want to understand what it is in greater details, I did make a video recently about, I think it's literally just called Insane. Is this your chance to be a millionaire? Because again, there are some people that might potentially walk out millionaires, from this particular endeavor, or maybe they will, but that video talks all about it. It'll be at the very end screen at the bottom to really understand what it is. Today's video is going to be much more specialized to talk about how to actually physically make money. And while it is true that you can jump around this video, I do highly recommend maybe watching through every single minute of it, largely just because I'm going to go into details about how it actually physically works. So even if you know what the idea is, it goes into even greater details about how it works and also how difficult or easy it is to actually implement these particular ideas and whether or not I particularly recommend it. So there's still hopefully some level of personal touch to it, even if you've seen another video. So that being said, let's just get this video started. But real fast, as always, before we begin, if you guys enjoy videos like this, remember to smash the like button, consider subscribing and hitting the bell for similar videos. And as always, feel free to comment any questions, maybe personal thoughts, or maybe any personal ideas you might have about how you might use ChatGPT in your particular life. So with that being said, let's get this video started and rolling. So we're going to start by maybe just pointing out a really important note, I think, before we get started. This is really about the fact that while there are a lot of creative business models, and we're going to go through about 5 of them in today's video, is that all of these business models by no means are necessarily going to be easy to pursue. So I think that if there's another channel that's trying to tell you about how easy it is to make money off of this, I think that with technology, it's certainly going to be easier than it once was, but independently, it's not going to be easy. And I think that anyone that says otherwise is probably diluting an idea, because otherwise, if that was the case, millions of people, or certainly a lot more people, would be following these business practices. And like anyone that has ever tried to pursue a business model, being able to physically do it and just having the idea of doing it is a very different thing. So hopefully this kind of is just some important points to really point out. But the first business model that we are going to be talking about is really going to be through something called email and copywriting, if you wanted to kind of make money through that. So how this particular works, and again, I recommend watching through every minute to really get the details about it, is that there are a lot of freelance companies and businesses and even small agencies and stuff that really have a business model focused about helping to write emails or copyright different things and text for other people. So this could be anything in the world of writing, such as like writing a blog article, writing descriptions, writing a blog post, becoming a secretary and writing emails. You can actually spin off a business model or certainly get a job where you literally just write emails for big clients, writing essays, blog posts, articles, anything in that particular world. This is something that you can potentially use to pursue the very first business model, which is interesting because the second business model that you can really look at, and this is a business model and probably one of my favorite business models of the ones that we're going to name today. But again, all of them, this is a little subjective because all of them have their pros and cons. But the second business model that we're really going to talk about is being able to write ebooks. And the idea is that right now, the ebook industry is actually doing pretty reasonably well. I think that there's a lot of creative ways right now that people like to consume information. A lot of people might like to consume information through things such as like YouTube. That's how one of my favorite ways to consume information, from talking to other people, from media, from television. There's a lot of ways to consume information. And one of the ways to consume information is through ebooks. So how this particularly works is that there's 2 sides to this story. The first way that you can make money from this is to get a job to to physically help people write their ebooks. The second way that you can do this is to physically write your own ebook. ChatGPT has a really interesting feature where you can type up and ask them to physically write down articles for you. But within writing a lot of these articles, there's actually a way on ChatGPT where you can essentially just have it write different kinds of articles about different topics that relate to a particular niche, and then stitch them together to create your own physical ebook. And if you were able to replicate this over and over again, you're going to be able to make money from it. Now, this is a lot more difficult than it seems, because the thing is writing the actual physical ebook is not necessarily particularly the most difficult part. The most difficult part, and I speak as someone that has actually worked in the ebook industry before, the most difficult part is going to be finding ways to market your ebook. But at the very least, ChatGPT can at least help take out a lot of the work and help you physically write books for you. So how this works as an example is, say for example you want to write a book about relationships, you can have ChatGPT write you an article that talks about how to date, how to talk to potential partners, how to flirt properly, how to propose, marriage, where to find people, all sorts of different topics. And then within each of these articles, you can kind of create a book with a table of contents, and every single chapter is dedicated to one side of dating and relationships. And this is just one example. And you can use this example for a lot of other kinds of niches, whether this is about cooking, food. Cooking is a little bit tricky because you might need to use a lot of photos and, edit a lot of stuff behind, although ChatGPT again can do that. But these are just some examples to hopefully get some ideas. The big bottom line is that you can either write your own ebooks, or you can help other people write their ebooks by hiring or by having them hire you through a freelance site like Fiverr or an Upwork, and then letting them do it for you, or letting them allow you to write the ebooks for them. So that's the second business model. Now, the third business model that we're going to cover is going to be a little bit more of an interesting one, which I think is kind of cool. Maybe that might be of interest, but it's really going to be trying to help people by writing resumes and cover letters, or becoming a template creator. So how this essentially works is that there are actually several sites that will sometimes allow you to get paid to help people write resumes and cover letters. But what ChatGPT can also do on top of actually doing all of this is that they can also help by creating a template for you so that you can use this to kind of fill in. So in other words is that they might be able to create a template for a resume, and then all you have to do now is just to plug chug all of the different points. So for example, if someone wants to hire you to write a resume for them, you can basically use that template and now just plug chug for them. So you can write down their name, their address, their companies, where they've worked, their years of experience. You can write down descriptions. You can just filler out different words there and there, but at least you have the layout. That's really the first creative way. But the other creative thing that you can do is that you can even just sell the physical template itself, because there are places that you can buy templates of different articles or just different resumes and different cover letters, and then you can sell the physical template, and then other people will buy it from you, and then you can make money from that, which I think is a very interesting way to do it. Now, the fourth business model is not necessarily a business model in itself per se, but it's about a way that you can use ChatGPT to power these particular business models. And what it really is about content creation and e-commerce ideas and finding trends. So how this particularly works is that while it is true that ChatGPT, say for example you want to run a Shopify store, or you want to go into e-commerce, while it is true that ChatGPT cannot actually create a physical Shopify store for you, because you still have to learn how to go through the process, what it can do, interestingly enough, is that it can actually help you to generate ideas about what's actually physically trending. In other words, it's a really great way to collect information so that you can use that to brainstorm ideas, and then maybe find out what's trending, and then use that to convert it into an e-commerce business, and now decide what to sell. So say for example, if you wanted to start a product-based business where you want to sell clothing, right? You can now potentially use, while it is true that Chat GPT cannot put a clothing store for you together, what they can do is that they can help you do a lot of research to look at what are some articles of clothing that's trending right now, what's popular, what are people searching for, what are people looking for, what's really selling in the market. And then from all of that research, you can use that to now open up your own store. So it's not necessarily a business model directly in itself that just, uses Chat GPT, but it's certainly a business model that can use Chat GPT to really help support that particular business and to really take it further to new levels. So it's more of a way to use it to complement another business model, which at the end of the day is still business nonetheless. And I think that's another cool thing. And then the last business model that can really be supported by ChatGPT is not necessarily going to be a business model per se, but it's more of a tool that you can use ChatGPT to help you, and it's really to just brainstorm business models in general. What's really cool about ChatGPT is that you can literally look up and research almost anything that you really want to that's informational. So how this works is that, say for example, you're very interested in a particular craft or a particular niche. You can now use that and then use ChatGPT to try to come up with potential business ideas centered around that particular niche. So say for example, I'm really into travel, right? You can physically ask ChatGPT about what are some potential business models or business ideas that you can pursue for someone that's very interested in travel. So while it's not necessarily a business per se, it's more of a collection of businesses that can potentially come about that, because by using this particular tool, you can now use it to brainstorm a bunch of ideas, and then maybe hopefully, if one of those ideas just particularly clicks with you, you can now use that idea. So it's just a very creative way that's not even just one business idea, but now it's some way to have just many business ideas all collected together depending on the particular niche that you are trying to get into. That's something that can be really powerful and useful that ChatGPT can potentially really help with. But of course, this hopefully covers 5 business models or business ideas or ways that you can generate business ideas using the powerful tool of AI and ChatGPT. But of course, there are so many other business models. We're going to be talking about them maybe in the future, depending on how, if people are interested in hearing about them. But with that being said, that's pretty much what I really wanted to cover in today's video. So if you guys found that insightful, maybe remember to smash the like button, or otherwise feel free to leave a comment or suggestions for improvement, or just leave a comment regardless anyway if you made it to the end. Consider subscribing and hitting the bell. And with that being said, thank you guys so much for watching. As always, stay safe, stay well, and hope to see you guys next time. Thank you guys so much again.